Good afternoon. Well, third time we're here, and third time's a charm. Last time was cold, now it's hot. Thank you all for, on short notice, being able to attend today. We want to welcome everybody and go over a couple points, bring everybody up to speed. My name, for those of you who don't know, I'm Mike Busaroni. I'm with East Coast Golf Management. Rick Patton, our general manager, will be our slide mover. There you go, Rick. We want to thank everybody for coming. Want to give a quick recap on the operations, and then we're going to turn it over to Chris Manning, who will go over some of the other membership points. So, want to just take a minute. As you know, Rick has been here prior to the change of ownership, and we couldn't be more pleased with the direction that we're going in with regards to operations, food and beverage. We got a lot of exciting things to happen down at the Cabana, so we want to thank Rick. Y'all know Mr. Craig Malone, your head golf professional. He's happy. Craig's happy the grass is growing. Craig is also excited that on Monday, the new golf cart fleet will be here, so we'll talk about that later as well. I want to introduce, if you haven't had a chance yet, to meet Mr. Trent Venters. Trent's our new golf course superintendent. Trent came from another golf course that we had in Carolina Beach. He's very familiar with the greens that we have here. I think you've seen the last 3 weeks, due to even staff limitations, he's gone on to the golf course and trying to get things a lot in better condition, get more on a maintenance program. You've seen the golf cart path, or lack thereof now. We've already taken that out. We're trying to readdress that area. But we're very excited to have Trent on, and look forward to the future with Trent. Two people that we do want to recognize. One is here, Miss Becky Dempsey and Chastity Davis. Those two have been instrumental in helping us. We've had a lot of meetings. Chris and I have had to leave after the meetings, and we left Chastity and Becky to deal with a lot of the questions and concerns, and they've done a very good job with that. I want to thank them personally. Supposed to nod to Rick. Got it. How we're going to do this today, obviously we're having a little town hall meeting. We're going to make the presentation. We're going to take questions at the end, and they are recording this, so this will be available for you once we get done. Not today, but we will make an announcement when you can get it and where you can find it. So, a couple comments on the financials and the dues themselves. This is a breakdown of currently the members that are paying, and the breakdown. The golf course, the club itself, we do operate in a shortfall right now. We have 389 current paying members, 87 of which are full golf, 78 are social, and then you have a combination of 224 that are non-resident. The non-resident are for the property owners that own just a lot and/or have a rooftop but live outside the 80-mile radius. So right now, those two are combined, given that we took over. We are looking down the road to break that out so it's a lot more consistent, and we figure out how many people we have that have rooftops here but don't live here permanently. So that's the breakdown of where we're at as of today. As of today, there's no, we need more rooftops. We need more residents being here at Grand Harbor. We need to get the club prosperous so we can move forward. We can do a lot of the projects that we're looking for and get the club and the amenities back to what you all expect. So that is our challenge. We've had a challenge with regards to when we took over, working on combining, finding all the people that are involved, the special deals. When we took over, the old software had, I would say, almost 45 different what we call classifications at the time. Well, we're only dealing with 3 moving forward. The other 41 classifications were these special deals. Good, bad, or indifferent. We've been following up with people, trying to figure out what those deals are, if there is documentation, is or not, who was promised this, who was promised that. So needless to say, the last 60 days, that has been somewhat challenging. But the accounting department, Chastity, Becky, our controllers in the back have done a very good job of getting us this information. Up until yesterday, this is the first time we were actually able to see the breakdown of every member, property, lot owner, the piece of property, were they non-resident, were they not. So it has been a challenge, but we are moving forward, so thank you for bearing with us on that. Just some real quick points here, the recent dues history and the comparison. Obviously 2010, you can see the increase and where we are today with 415 for the full golf, currently 295 for the social, and then we have the 235 for the non-resident category, and those are the percentage increases that we currently are at versus last year. Excuse me. This is a monthly breakdown after we have 1 month under our belt. You'll see that the dues and the trail fees that we anticipate on collecting on a monthly basis are about $115,000 a month. Given that everybody's paying on time, we are collecting all the monies, there's no delinquency. That's the good news. Currently, our payroll is running anywhere from 65, and in a few weeks when the cabana opens, to $75,000 a month. It almost is all the dues that are collected that go towards payroll. Our debt service is in there monthly, the taxes, the insurances, RPOA fees, the marketing expenses that we're encountering, and the legal fees that Chris is incurring with regards to going to the people who are not paying, the delinquent members, what have you. This number is a low number, obviously because it was February and we weren't growing grass, but the fuel, the chemicals, the F&B that we're getting ready to encounter, it's currently $8,000. That's a $20,000 plus number monthly and higher if we want the product to be where it was in the past. Monthly total, you're at $143,000 in the off season, and that number is going to increase to $180 plus thousand a month in the season, which we are right now on the cusp of that. A lot of expenses, and as you can see, just in February alone, we're operating on a shortfall. So we do need to move forward. We do need to get more rooftops in here. We do need to convert the non-residents that are not on the rooftops yet, get them to build, get this club moving in a good direction so we can do the things that I know you all want and we want too moving forward. No. Got it. This is a comparison of the last 3 groups that have been in here. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of the first 2. We weren't here. It's a new day. We are moving forward. But I do want to give you just a quick update. I know we had 8 bullet points when we first met, second time we met, when we actually closed, on the first hit list of what we were going to do. They hired a management company. We got Rick on board now full time. This is just in the last 45 to 60 days. The new point of sale system, which they've done a good job of merging the two. We're still working out some of the kinks. That also is your member billing as well now. The online component, the new website, the pool and the deck repairs. If you haven't been down to the marina lately, in the last 3 weeks, just go down there. Good news, the staff has done an unbelievable job of getting those docks clean. They were just dirty. We pressure washed them, they did, and they look brand new. Now we're uncovering all the boards that are been broken, the nails that are sticking up, the bolts that are cracking. If you go down there today, there's areas where there's just gaps, there's exposed pipe, the T-dock is out there. There's been a lot of discussion, where do I park my boat if I'm if I'm just coming over? We're working on all that now. The staff is doing a great job trying to get the docks in a much safer condition for this summer so we can move forward. The pool itself, got good news yesterday from DHEC. That's the Department of Health. That's the one that keeps us right with our licenses and all, and met again yesterday with the pool. Rick did. We are going to be able to open on time. We do have some challenges down there with regards to the pool. We do have some areas on the floor of the pool, in the pool, that we are looking to try and get fixed, believe it or not, try and get fixed while the water is still in there. The hot tub itself, got some issues, got a broken heater of one. We have two heaters, one's broken. We're gonna fire it up, see if it works, see what we need to do there. We do have some cracks on the pool surface that when you go by the pool and the hot tub, you'll see the difference in the settling. We are addressing that as well. The cabana itself, Rick and his staff, food and beverage staff, have been working really hard on creating an experience down there moving forward this summer. We want that to be the summer spot to hang out. All right. But we do. We want to have it down there. We have a new menu. Daniel's been working on a new menu down there, which will be announced hopefully by the end of next week. We plan on getting the pool open. The bad news right now is we don't have any equipment down there. All the equipment that we inherited doesn't work. It busted. I don't know how else to say it. So we met with the food and beverage suppliers. We're getting prices. The coolers are coming back in. We are cleaning up the back of the bar itself. We want that to be an experience. We're looking at some outdoor, more furniture. The beach itself, myself, Rick, and Trent were out on the beach Monday. God, it was windy. Trent is going to go and spray out the whole beach. We're going to rake it up just like we would on a golf course in a bunker. We're going to prep the beach in an effort to make it beach ready. Right now it needs some attention, so we are doing everything we possibly can down there right now to get this thing up and running, because we do want that to be a great venue as we move forward. With that, we are implementing a towel service. So that room back there, I guess when you're looking at the bar to the left, I want to say it was a massage room. That's what they told me. That's what they told me. That's going to be the area. That's going to be the area where the towels are going to be moving forward. We're going to have the big towel bins in there. You'll have a check-in. We'll provide you with the towels as well. We're looking to cut open the wall that separates that and what the kitchen is now to create some more storage in that area. So we are working diligently on the menus we talked about. The fitness center, we've already gone in there. The mirror was all cracked. We got that done. Rick and the staff, they went and pressure washed the whole place. The tennis courts have been rolled. The carpets have been cleaned. So we will have towel service moving forward for not only the cabana, but also the fitness center as well. We talked about the golf carts. We're excited to have those guys roll in here next Monday. That's been a ongoing effort. We did establish an advisory board a short while ago. The advisory board, just so everybody knows, the intention of the advisory board is to have a mix of not just men who play golf, but men, women who are interested in social activities, who are interested in golf, who are interested in other things other than just those two, the social events, dining components. So right now we do have a good mix of that variety. We will probably open the door to a few more to get more input as we move forward. But we are excited about the direction of where that's going, and we do thank them for their assistance here the last few weeks. But more of that to come moving forward. And like everything else, the last 8 years of the deferred maintenance, everywhere you look, there's something broken that needs to be fixed. And we're doing a good job of that. And we continue to work. That'll be an ongoing effort all year. You'll see the guys out there continuing to work, so we do ask that you bear with us, but the staff and everybody are doing their very best right now to get this place up and running in the way that you all expect. A couple of the documents that have gone out, I know there's been some discussions about that. We will address that. Chris will here shortly. But we do want to talk about a few things right now with that. Currently, Chris did send a letter out with these bullet points in there. We did talk about the dues being capped currently for the last 5 years. The process about profit and investment in the club. The clauses with regards to liability. The language in there. The credit card charges, the 2%, that has been waived. We do not have a 2% credit card charge in there should you pay your bills or anything else of that nature. The termination of membership, the changes to the rules and regs, the social green fees that were in there prior to when we took over, that is back. The new website is live. Excuse me, the new website is live, grandharbor.net, same URL. In there will be the login. I think you already got your letter already with regards to going in there, viewing your statement. There is a social component on there as well moving forward. It'll be in categories. So if you're not the golfer or you're not the pool person or the lake person or whatever, you can go in there similar to what Facebook does. You can invite people to join you. Hey, I'm going to be down at the dining room. Whatever, who wants to join me? Or we have Bible study at 10 o'clock, don't forget. So there'll be a lot more opportunity to communicate within the community over and above the emails that we do send out as well. So, and our web designer has been here all day on site working with the staff to help that. On there as well is the MLS that is housing a lot of the resales on there as well. So we are trying to move forward in that direction. After this meeting, we've already established a survey. We finished it. The survey will go out either late tonight or tomorrow. It's got a list of 20 questions on it, just asking your opinion on certain things that we may not have hit operationally in the last 60 days. It was supposed to be blue. grandharbor.net. That's your website. Yep. The member survey will be out there. It is anonymous, so we do ask your feedback for that. And once we gather all the information, we will communicate to everybody with regards to the findings on that. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Chris Manning now. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate everybody coming back out tonight. Like Mike said, it's kind of our third go-around after having 60 days to digest the information and kind of figure out what's going on. I feel like we're actually prepared to talk and have a meeting tonight. I'll take full responsibility for the first couple meetings and a lot of the early communication because we were trying to get things out, in a timely manner. Also, we had some pretty serious misconceptions about some things that had happened in the past related to member communication from the club. Just a little, background. Had the property under contract for 8 to 10 months, and we had limited access to the members. The previous owner really didn't want us having a bunch of town hall meetings with his membership, which makes sense. But it also posed some problems for us because we couldn't gather all the information that we would have loved to have had 6 or 8 months ago. So the real estate brokers in the transaction, they set us up with a few small private, a few small member gatherings. We did get some useful information, but again, I didn't really figure out what had gone on in the past, and probably until 30 days ago. As soon as we closed, we made these new club documents available that were basically new to everybody. What I was told was these were the documents that had been in place since 2010, since David had closed on the property. And, again, I take responsibility for it. I assumed that all of the members had copies of these and had gone over them and, liked them and had signed a document saying, we understand our club is governed by, so literally we got those Word documents, we sent them to the attorneys, they made changes, we changed the documents somewhat, but the documents were still one-sided in nature. They were just fairly one-sided on the club side. So we took a crack at revising them again. We did get some feedback. As I stand here today, I don't think I got all the feedback that was needed because there's still issues with the documents with, at least some members, because they've told me, and we've sat down and we've had, over the last few weeks, we've had meetings. We're trying to be, 100% transparent in what we're trying to do, and we don't have a hidden agenda. But I can understand that with, conspiracy theory, and you read the document, you could see that you could maybe think that we are, trying to leave some gotchas in there or something like that. And that's really not the intent. Me personally, the documents are really there just to basically, govern the club. They're not, I think, once we issue them, I don't really think many people have looked at them. In the past, I know when we sent them out and said sign here and all that, that was a big issue. So, as I stand here today, what I'd like to do moving forward, and again, it's hard for me to know the lay of the land. There's a lot of people here tonight, and I know there's a lot of members. I don't know all of the, I feel like I've kind of divided the club to some degree, which is, it's definitely a problem for me. That's the last thing we want to do is to divide or have people have hard feelings. You can have hard feelings at me. I get it and I can take it, but I don't really want to, I kind of feel I've come in here and neighbors are kind of mad at one another because of an issue, and one takes this side, one sees it this way, one sees it this way, and somebody's at odds, and that's no good, and that's not what I want to do. And again, we had I had a lot of meetings on Monday of this week, and then a few meetings today. So I don't have all the answers on how to get the appropriate representation together to make sure that, I guess I look at it like this. If you're a member in good standing, this is your club and this has been your club, and some of you for a very long time. So having new documents for me is basically a way to just make sure that we're covered legally, meaning we've got the right names, we've got the right bullet points, we've defined things in case there is an issue, and we have to enforce something. I don't know what it would be, but I would like to get, I would like more member feedback and have some of these initiatives more member-led, because you guys are here. You know the issues from the past, you know the issues today, you know the dynamics of this document makes these certain people feel this way, and it makes these other folks feel this way, and there's three different communities here that are together but detached, so there's different dynamics, and and just the comments that people have told me, or the conversations. I had somebody come up to me a few minutes ago, and I said, wow, we had a great turnout, and they said, a lot of people are here because of the equestrian center. And I said, yeah, okay. I never really expected that. Maybe a lot of people are here because of the documents, or So I don't really know what's going on with the equestrian center. I did reach out to the Newtons this morning and ask them if we could offer pony rides for grandkids, because I had been asked that, and I think it's a pretty good idea, and I don't think there's probably any issues with that moving forward. But other than that, we don't really have any grand plans for the equestrian center except to keep it operating, and from what I can tell, the Newtons do a great job of managing that. So I just want to clear that up, because I don't even know what that means. All right, so a little brief history. Some of you may or may not know this. Grand Harbor, the original declaration was from 1999. The 2002, the golf was added to the yacht club component. It has a property. The property owners here have a required membership. you know, in a remote location, kind of here we are. I mean, that's a critical piece of the puzzle. In fact, many members have come up to me and said that's the reason they moved here and, you know, invested in their lot and their home, because they felt like it would be stable. It's very similar to your homeowners association. I mean, that's kind of, you know, why you have it, to look after the good of the community and take care of the issues. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Rick, if you would. So, one of the, you know, as I've gathered the information, I feel like the documents have been one of the biggest issues. Like, you know, we rolled them out, I think people said, whoa, these are clubs trying to take advantage of me. So the second biggest issue, at least from what I've heard, is this initiation fee, this deposit, this enormous spreadsheet that we inherited at closing. It started out at $10,000 by the original developer, and in 2006 it was raised to $25,000. You know, all the money that was collected, I have no idea where it went. When we closed, we didn't get an escrow account with any money. We literally got an Excel spreadsheet that has a bunch of numbers beside everybody's name, and that's a credit towards the $25,000 basically. So I think most of the money went to club improvements and infrastructure and wherever it went. You guys know better than me. I don't know, right? I mean, I think, well, wherever it went, you know, I don't know. I will say, just to talk about that a minute. You know, we did have visibility to the previous owner's financials, and you know, this was there's a I think a misconception that this was a big cash cow for him. I don't, but based on all the numbers we've gotten, that's just not the truth. When he closed, he had to pay a lot of things that were from the past. We paid our HOA dues, I don't know, a week or so ago, and one of the comments I got that I received back was, in the last 8 or 9 years, this is the first time that the club owners actually paid the dues on time. So, I'm not saying that to brag or anything. I'm just saying, you know, we try to pay our bills, and the club is the biggest payer of HOA dues in these communities. Okay, I mean, so between the amenity fee and the dues, you know, it's a lot of money, and I mean, I take it serious. I mean, the club relies on the HOA to take care of its responsibilities, and you know, if you don't pay the HOA dues, I mean, then that's a community problem. So, you know, this deposit. It's been mentioned to me many times. We've had 100 discussions. Almost every time on the ride back, Mike and I fight about it half the way back because we have ideas, and he shoots me down on most of them, but it's okay. And for me, I have the desire to deal with it, okay, as the club owner. I mean, the documents say the club has the authority to do this, this, and this with this fee, but the reality is there's a lot of history with this fee. There's a big spreadsheet, and everybody's got their credit number beside it. And my position from the beginning was I didn't want to mess with it. I didn't want to lower it. I didn't want to raise it. I didn't want to touch it because it was something that was in the past. And if somebody had a small credit versus somebody that had a large credit, no matter what I did with that number, in my mind, that one of those groups is not going to feel like it's equitable. They're going to have an issue. So, again, this goes along with the documents. You know, starting immediately, I'm going to be looking for, you know, a member-led initiative to explore and to see if we can deal with this. I don't know what the answer is. If you go to the next slide. The purpose of the I believe it is to fund capital improvement projects with monies and some operations. I mean, the money as it comes into the club. I mean, you know, things things have picked up a little bit. There's been a few lot closings that are happening this week, which is good. And they're resale lots. We are not competing with the resales. I had a member in Pennsylvania tell me yesterday that he didn't want to compete with me on selling his lot. And I told him that, I mean, we don't even have, Tom, do we even have the developer inventory listed? Yeah, I mean, we don't have, we have no plans of even listing the developer inventory. That's not the point. I mean, what we're trying to do is have a healthy club. If we have a healthy club, years from now or in the future, hopefully soon, the existing inventory, the resale inventory, whether it's a home, a townhouse, or a lot, if we have a transaction on it and it is sold, then at some point it makes sense to put developer inventory out there. But that's not what we're trying to do at this point. So back to the initiation fee. I want to try to deal with it and get some proposals. I've had some members. It does. I don't think it matters kind of which side of the issue you're on. What I can tell you is you've got some very passionate and hardworking members in this room. I mean, just the things that have been done and the work that's gone into some of these meetings, these discussions, these documents. I mean, it's kind of unbelievable. And what I would like to do is attempt to harness that, in a positive direction for us, all to work together. I would hope that most of the meetings that I've had with groups of owners and members, that they would say, hey, I think Chris is being transparent. I think he's, being honest with us, and he's trying to fix the issues. I mean, that's really what we're trying to do. If there's any impression that we're not doing that, like I said, I'll take the heat for that. But I would like to know what these issues are so we can deal with them, because I know that there can be rumor mill and uneasiness and people going to bed at night worrying about what these documents say or what we're going to do and all. And I just want that to end, because that's not the intent at all. So together, we can make Grand Harbor what everybody thinks it should be, and maybe what it was once in the past, long ago. We have a real estate market that nationally and especially in the Southeast that has certainly recovered. I mean, the things that happened in 2007, 8, and 9. I mean, that was hopefully once in our lifetime. But hope we're beyond that. And there are folks that are able to sell their houses up north and in the Midwest and even on the coast and regionally that would probably love to move here and live. If they can sell their property, they can come here and buy property and participate in what's going on. We want the property values to flourish here, not only club property values, but everybody's property values, and have a good quality of life. I mean, if you're here, you don't want to be here fighting and arguing and worrying about what's happening with the club. You want to get along and enjoy your life and enjoy the club. And is that the last one? Yeah. So let's get down. Mike kind of said we could just skip all those slides we just went through and let's talk about this slide, because these are the elephants in the room. Okay, I mean, as far as I can tell, maybe there's some other ones, and maybe I needed to clarify the equestrian center. But we've got the membership deposit that, again, we're gonna look for member input. We'll look for solutions. Look for a way to deal with this. Just to talk about this briefly. The outside community, I'm talking builders, brokers, the folks that I've talked to, even members, maybe even employees, maybe former owners, there's a misconception that Grand Harbor has that if you go buy a piece of property at Grand Harbor today, that there's a $25,000 deposit due. I've had a few real estate brokers just tell me that, and that's somewhat true. But if you take a property that already has a paid in full deposit, that's totally not true. Okay, but it is a situation. It is out there. I think everybody thinks that if it's dealt with, it would remove a barrier to entry. Properties could sell easier. People would buy properties not being scared of it, because if they wanted to resell their property, I think it would be attractional to some builders, maybe some investors, and it would be positive for the real estate community to kind of rally behind it and say, you know what, Grand Harbor is a great place, and now it's a value. In the past, maybe it wasn't a perceived value, but this helps it become more of a value. Okay, so the club documents again. I've spent so much time on the club documents that I don't even want to look at them anymore. I don't win anything with these club documents. I don't. What needs to happen is they need to be created, modified, blessed by the members and run by legal just to say, yeah, they're good, and then put them in a file and be done with them. That's what needs to happen with the club documents. Anybody that's in good standing, you guys have operated with documents for a long time, so I don't see it as a big issue. Grand Harbor marketing campaign. We're attempting to relaunch Grand Harbor. We have the Board of Realtors luncheon scheduled out here for April 7th. I would really like to get our message and our offering together, and we're going to work on that and having that prepared so when they get here, we can make sure that everybody's spreading the proper message about Grand Harbor and the opportunity out here to live and to do business. There's been a lot of factors at private clubs like this. A lot of times the club owner will have its own little real estate program going on, which can alienate resellers, and it can also alienate the outside community, and that is not our philosophy. We want to have an active co-broke community. Outside folks coming in, outside builders. I've had builder comments that we want to make it a builder-friendly environment. We certainly don't want builders to devalue anything or build a product that is not adding value to the community. But we also don't want to be bureaucracy heavy to where they are scared or they feel like it's a place they don't want to do business. So I think we can resolve those. I've met with some POA board members, and they, I think, have the philosophy that they want Grand Harbor to be a place to do business. But on the other hand, they want to protect the values and make sure that the product is what everybody wants it to be. So, and then, if we can market the community, not just locally but regionally, and get prospects in and showcase it and refer it to friends and family and people the club economics will change. This shortfall will change as you get more rooftops, more member count, more participation with food and beverage and with golf, and with all the activities. The dues levels could certainly come down. Me as a real estate guy, I look at the barriers to entry, and I would like them to be as low as possible. Because what's going to happen for somebody to come in to buy your property or to buy a piece of property to come move here, they're going to come in and they're probably going to shop regionally. They might shop just in the Greenwood area, or they might spread their search out to an hour or two away to all these other private communities. They're going to look at covenants, ARB requirements, fees, club dues, property taxes, POA dues, membership deposits. They're going to look at the whole package. And at the end of the day, what we want to have is an attractive package that is fair, that protects the property values here, but also is not a barrier to entry for them to come and participate. So that this concludes our town hall presentation here. Mike and I are certainly going to be here. I know we have a lot of people standing up, and I apologize for that. I think we pulled as many chairs as we could in here, but we'll hang out here. We'll hang out at the clubhouse. Don't leave mad about something. Don't leave thinking that the clubs has a hidden agenda. Come up, let's talk, let's go through the issues, and we're going to work on getting some diverse committees together to help us navigate this and to get everything back on track to where everybody's feeling good about Grand Harbor, because I certainly see a great vision for this community, and that's kind of where we're at today.